Okay, I'm the first to admit that growing on Instagram really isn't as easy as it used to be. Now you have so many people on there sharing about themselves, their products, their services. It seems like there's more noise now, more than ever, to cut through. But that's not to say that you can't grow an Instagram account from zero organically and quickly. I know this because I've done it myself and for so many of my clients. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how I would build the Boss of Instagram account back up to 2.6 million followers if we were to lose them all overnight, which fingers crossed will never ever happen, with zero budget. Because believe it or not, it isn't enough just to create great content and then hope someone sees it, especially when you're starting from scratch. You've really got to have these other strategies and tactics in place to make sure that your content is put in front of people's eyeballs. Okay, first things first, let's talk about how you can gain traction, aka start to generate interest in yourself and in your business. It's this interest that's going to lead your ideal client avatar, your ICA, to hit that follow button. So let's explore precisely how you can do that. So you're going to want to get clear on a couple of things first. The first is how you can add value in a unique way. So you really need to know what you can share for free that's worth something to your ideal client avatar. What do you know that they don't and that they need to know in order to solve their problem? Value adding content comes at no cost to you or your company, but it gives your ICA a really good idea of what it would look like to buy from you or work with you in a paid capacity. I value add by sharing how people can grow and monetize their Instagram account, start businesses, scale businesses, serve to the best of their ability, and help make money confidently and consistently. I also share how busy female entrepreneurs or ambitious women can better the balance between business and pleasure so that they can be fulfilled and satisfied in personal life as well as business life. I've been in both ends of the spectrum and I love to share what I've learned along the way. So the second thing is you want to get clear on what specifically you're going to create content on. So I'd also really recommend coming up with a content calendar so that you're never stuck in that awful state of post paralysis wondering what on earth you should publish. So once you've got clarity around the value you can add, you're going to want to write down around 5 content pillars. So that'll be 5 subjects you can teach on that will form the foundation of everything you post everywhere. Then break those subjects down into topics. So if it was branding, you break it down into tone of voice, visual identity, vision and values, and so on. And write captions around all of those topics so that you're never without something to say. So once you've done that, you're going to want to start focusing on a few other things before really upping your growth game. Like I said, we need to set the foundations. So the first thing is publishing 10 posts if you haven't already. Remember, we're talking about growing from zero. So you're going to want to publish at least 10 posts before expecting anything to come of it. As with any fewer than that, people won't get a real feel for you or your brand. So put your best foot forward here. Make sure the posts you put out are really reflective of who you are, what you do, who you help, and how you help them. Number 2 is get your bio ready. So following that, you want to get your bio ready for eyeballs. So to get your bio ready, a clear picture of your face, your business's logo would be great. Some SEO so that you can be on searchable keywords, and then an I help statement. So I'm not going to delve too much into this piece right now, but I've recorded a video all about straightening out your bio. So I'll be sure to leave the link in the description below so you can check it out. The third thing, which sounds really simple, but if we're starting from zero, I want you to connect to Facebook. So when you connect to Facebook, you can set Instagram up so that it automatically shares on the Facebook platform too, and it will notify your Facebook friends and family to come and follow you on Instagram. I also recommend asking them to follow you outright, as well as show you some support by liking, commenting on, and most importantly, sharing your content in the beginning. I know this really holds a lot of people back because they're nervous to show their friends and family what they're working on, but I promise it's really, really helpful. So with that, let's skip to the bit that you've been waiting for. It's time to talk going viral or getting traction on your content. So take a sip of water and then get a pen and paper in front of you so that you're ready to dive in. This is the piece you're going to want to give your full attention to, so put the phone away and listen up. So this is going to be all about going viral or getting traction and eyeballs on your content. So having scaled the Boss With Instagram account to 2.6 million followers, I know a thing or two about going viral. You've probably heard me talk about it in millions of videos. I talk about the same thing all the time. Some of our posts have helped us grow by thousands of followers alone. And it's one thing creating content that speaks to your client enough that they like it and comment on it, but it's quite another thing to create content that they actually feel compelled to share. So I want to share a few of my tools and techniques to get your audience and their audience and their audience and their audience to do just that. So the first thing is creating engaging content at Boss With. We found that quotes really resonate with people, and they're very easy to share, as well as infographics or shareable templates, especially things that are easy to consume and digest. Infographics are really educational, so in particular, infographics that position you as an authority by sharing your expertise. This changes for every niche, and you might find that quotes or infographics totally don't land with your audience, but that a different content type entirely does. Only you can answer that, but I love that kind of content because it means you're not having to do photo shoots constantly, and you can just create graphics that really get shared. We've also found that media like carousels, videos, IGTVs, and Reels are so good for engagement because Instagram favors the kind of content that's going to keep people on the platform as long as possible. So if your content keeps people on the platform, it's probably going to get favored. Another thing is getting shout outs. It's not just the type of content you create that gets someone to share it. Flattery goes a long way as well. It's well worth your while seeing if you can get shout outs from brands relevant to you but with bigger following to yours by sharing your post to their story, tagging them in it. Reposting a business owner or influencer's work could also result in you being reposted. So what I mean by that is, say you take an outfit picture wearing a brand's clothing and it's in the same style that the brand shares on their own page. If you tag them in it, they might actually share that content. And if that's your ideal client following that brand, let's say Revolve, then you're going to get a lot more eyeballs on your content. Another thing is partnering up with people. So have you tried working with other people? Try and think of ways in which you can partner up with people who can drive traffic from their page to yours. Could you do an Instagram takeover and add value to someone else's audience so that they make their way to your page for more of where that came from? Perhaps an Instagram takeover or post on their feed. Loop giveaways also work really well for audience growth. In loop giveaways, the prospect has to follow everyone offering prizes to enter the competition and be in a chance with winning. So if you were able to partner with, say, 10 people, you could run a giveaway on all 10 accounts and bring in the audience of those 10 people. So these 3 things have really helped us at Boss Babe, and I have every faith and trust that they will help you too. But there is a catch because, like I said, it's one thing getting people to your page and it's quite another actually keeping them there. So you're going to want to think about retention as much as you think about acquisition. It's the same in business as a whole. And the best way to retain what you've attained or who you've attained is by keeping people really engaged in your content. So my 2 top tips for keeping people interested and interacting are as follows. 1, tell stories on your stories. And 2, practice consistency. So on my stories, I like to share who I am, what I do, who I help, my mission, my vision, my values. I also do day in the lives that bring people behind the scenes of my business and share some personal too, like hanging out with my husband or playing with my puppy or going for lunch with friends so that people can see what I'm like at home as well as at work. And I might time lapse myself making coffee or lunch or dinner or brainstorming with Danielle. I just throw my phone up, I time lapse it, so I'm not actually having to spend time creating content. And I honestly just share the same stuff, same sort of stuff like every day over and over again. You probably see me sharing my morning agenda every single day because people don't buy from people that they don't buy into. So what I mean by that is you need people to trust you. And number 2 is that consistency helps you build the trust factor, and people find safety and security in consistency. Now I'm going to leave this here because I know I've talked a lot and I do not want to overwhelm you with action steps, but I want to know which one action you could take today to firm up your profile or gain traction or retain the audience you've attained by keeping them interested and interacting. So I would love if you can let me know below in the comments what your biggest breakthrough was or your action step, because I'm always really interested to see what people's light bulb moments have been from the content that I've shared. And if this video was helpful for you, I would love it if you can give me a like and a comment, fessing up to what mistakes you've been making. And like I said, what action step you're going to take or any breakthroughs that you've had. And make sure to subscribe to my channel because I have new videos coming every single week. We keep on